The real cost of your phone. Paul was just 12 years old when he was forced to start working in mines in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, the DRC. 60% of the world's cobalt is mined in this country in Central Africa. Day after day, he'd travel hundreds of feet underground without any protective gear. Using a small chisel, he'd spend up to 24 hours at a time searching for cobalt. This metal is an essential ingredient of the rechargeable batteries that power our smartphones, laptops, and other electronic devices. Collecting cobalt is backbreaking work. It's also a life threatening task. At any moment, the mine's tunnels could have caved in, leaving Paul buried under tons of rocks and dirt. Cobalt miners are also exposed to toxic materials. These can cause cancer, lung disease, and other serious health problems. Last fall, an investigation by American journalists highlighted the dangerous conditions of the cobalt industry in the DRC. The report detailed numerous human rights abuses, including a lack of worker protections and the use of child laborers like Paul. In response, Apple and other tech companies vowed to clean up their supply chains. They also said they'd pay more attention to how the materials in their products are obtained. But experts say the problem surrounding cobalt mining won't be an easy fix. It's partly because demand for electronics, as well as the cobalt that helps power them, is on the rise. Experts expect the amount of cobalt needed to produce batteries to double by 2025. Cobalt is also used in paint, jet engines, and other products. Mark Dummett of Amnesty International, an aid organization, says the DRC must do a better job protecting cobalt miners' safety and making sure that kids aren't working in the industry. Consumers need to get involved too, he adds. By holding companies accountable, millions of people enjoying the benefits of new technologies but rarely ask how they are made, Dummett says. It is high time that big brands took some responsibility for mining of the raw materials that make their lucrative products. A vital source of income. The DRC is one of the world's poorest countries. According to the World Bank, 77% of the nation's population lives in extreme poverty. That means that many people in the DRC are living on less than $1.90 a day. Many people there also lack running water, access to electricity, and economic opportunities. But the country is also rich in natural resources. Besides cobalt, the DRC has huge deposits of gold, diamonds, and copper. Mining these and other materials can be vital sources of income for hundreds of thousands of people. On a good day, for example, cobalt miners can earn $2 to $3 for what they collect. That can be enough for workers to feed their families. Still, the risks associated with mining cobalt are huge. Many workers lack safety equipment, such as helmets, gloves, and face masks. The work is very dangerous, says Benoit Nemery, a public health researcher in Belgium who has studied the DRC's mining industry. Accidents are common. Indeed, in 2014, 16 cobalt miners were killed in a landslide and another 15 in an underground fire. The following year, 13 more were killed when a mine collapsed. Communities at risk. Even children who don't work in the mines are exposed to toxic chemicals. Many kids sort through and wash the pieces of cobalt brought up by the miners. Delphin Mutela, now 13, began helping his mother clean cobalt in a river when he was just 8 years old. He told reporters that he needed the money to help fund his education. The money I get, I use to buy notebooks and so I can pay for school fees. People who work in the cobalt industry aren't the only ones in danger. Families that live near cobalt mines or cobalt processing areas are also exposed to hazardous elements through the foods that they eat. This includes their fruits and vegetables. Crops can become contaminated when dust from the mines or from trucks transporting cobalt settles on the ground. Dangerous materials also make their way into yards and rivers. To make matters worse, says Nemery, miners often find cobalt alongside uranium and arsenic. Uranium can damage the kidneys and arsenic can cause cancer. These communities are being exposed to a whole cocktail of toxic metals, he says. To help end the many abuses of the DRC's mining industry, experts say the nation's government needs to better ensure workers' safety. The country already has some laws protecting children, but they are rarely enforced. We will move on to No Easy Fix, the final part, in audio recording number 2.